Hello, everybody. This is Peter Palmiotti of Human Studios, and this is Studio Synergy, episode 67. And today, I have very special guests, Mutt Man and Macho Dan.
What's up?
What's going on, everybody?
There goes my video.
Oh no!
Or somebody's video. Probably mine. Wait.
I can see you.
Yeah, I can see you on the. I can see you on YouTube. You're still there.
Yeah. All right. All right. So that's paused. Shut off. Right, Raven? Right. So yeah, let's just do simple introductions first. Since I have in the title Mutt Man first, Let's talk to Mr. Mutt.
Right on, man. My name is Mutt Man. You can call me Mutt, and my buddies call me Mutt. We're all buddies here, so just call me Mutt. And me and Macho got this comic book that we're putting together. It's called HIRO Blood of Patriots. It's funding right now on Indiegogo, and we're about 92% funded. So we're feeling pretty good today. We still got about 30 some days left to go, so we're going to keep on pushing through and try to get some stretch goals and all that good stuff. And I'm looking forward to talking to you a little bit about retro as well.
Awesome. And that is really good. And yeah, I mean, you got a long road ahead of you to go way above if possible. And hopefully my viewers will go check out your comic and see how great it is. So next we have Macho Dan. Welcome.
What's up, everybody? Yeah, so Macho or Dan or Macho Dan or hey stupid face or whatever you want to call me. I usually answer to anything. And yeah, I'm the writer for HIRO Blood of Patriots. Mutt and I are co-creators, and we've been working on this project for a while now. And yeah, like he said, currently funding on Indiegogo. We're really excited about it. And we promoting really hard, work really hard, and it's paying off, man. We're fired about the progress we made.
That's excellent. I believe you got well, Mutt has been on Marshall's show, the early Birdcast, I believe when I was on, and spoke a little bit about it there. You mentioned Deathlock. Like, if people don't know HIRO at all, like Deathlock's a pretty good entry point.
Yeah. It's like it's like Deathlock and Captain America kind of mashed up together, along with a little Universal Soldier thrown in.
All great stuff. So what sparked the idea?
Oh, go ahead, Macho.
Do you remember?
Well, yeah, no, I remember. I mean, this has been for like nearly 5 years ago now. And I had a very strange dream that I always say it's like a fast food fueled dream. And it was about, like, the long story short is, you know, the droid in Empire Strikes Back, the probe droid from the Empire that's like floating around through Hoth. Right. It was that, except he was carrying around a dead body and he was trying to look human with this dead body, right? Which is really morbid and weird. But I told Mutt about this idea and we started talking about it, and we just had this idea and we just distilled it down until we got to it's not this droid trying to be human. Well, and it is, but it's a little bit more in depth than that. And we got this really great story. We worked really hard on it, and yeah, that's kind of the genesis of where it came from.
That's awesome. It sounds really fascinating and fun, and yeah, I'm a little bit tired, so
that's okay, man. That's okay. You're like, my brain would be a puddle on the floor at this point. So.
Yeah, for those people that don't know, Peter just got done with a 7-hour marathon live stream because you launched your Kickstarter today, right?
That's right. I launched Retro. It will be my very first comic I finished and get published and put it out there. So yeah, my first day. I mean, it's not even 24 hours, but but I'm almost at the $1,000 point.
Yeah.
So I am super happy.
That's awesome.
You know, I
man.
only went. I went with a short campaign, only 5 days, and
Oh, really?
a small goal of 1,500. I was like, if I get that in that amount of time, I'll be happy.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I could always do more afterwards, another campaign or whatever to really finance it, but this will allow me a window of time to just tuck away in my studio and get the fucking working on it.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about before you even launch, like that allows you to just get the product out there fast to people so they can see your quality, and then next time you can go $3,000, you know, and you'll have a bigger campaign, a bigger product. It'll be great.
Yeah, more people will be aware of it. Yada yada yada.
Exactly.
It's all good. So, do you want to show off your page? Either one of you?
Yeah, I think Mutt should take care of that. You got that, Mutt? or you too boomerish? Do you want me to do it?
Just give me momentito and I'll pull that up.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he masquerades like he knows what he's doing on the electronic wise, but he really doesn't. Nobody's fooled Mutt.
You may just say that because I just had to restart my computer to actually join this chat. So
yeah, I like that you had to turn it off and turn it back on. At least you did the right method first to get it working.
Oh, just be quiet.
That's IT 101, right?
Turn it off.
Right, turn it off and turn it on. So I was talking to Peter about our colorist Mutt.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's Vegas, and you should show him some of his colors. So good.
Oh yeah, I got that.
But if you guys, while he's getting that together,
I got it.
How about can I give you guys the quick pitch for HIRO? Are you ready for this?
Yeah, do it.
All right. America needs soldiers, and death is no excuse. The world is at war, and Russia's red threat is closing in. With limited options, the U.S. delves into the black science of reanimation. But when the experimental technology is stolen by a psychotic warlord, it's up to an unlikely team and an undead super soldier to stop him. Enter HIRO. Will it be America's salvation or its greatest sin?
Dun, dun, dun.
That's awesome.
That's great.
Yeah, man. So we worked hard on that. Our
first
pitch wasn't phenomenal, but we worked hard on that, and we were really happy with that.
All right.
Yeah, I'm still working on mine.
Yeah.
Are you seeing my screen now?
Yeah, we see it.
All right, cool.
Yes, I'm clicked on you. We'll see it.
Right on. Yeah, so this is our page. It's called Hero Blooded Patriots, and it's an intense action comic based in World War III. And our villain's name is Vulcan. I'll show you him in just a minute. But like I said, it's kind of like Deathlock plus Universal Soldier plus Captain America. It's a very patriotic comic book, and we just wanted to kind of like have patriotism shown in a different kind of light. This is a desperate America. This is a desperate sort of like a Hail Mary attempt. Our story is to kind of gain ground again against what we're describing as the Red Threat, which is communist Russia, who has come to power, and they are taking over the planet. So here's some pages that I did, just showing some of the fight and some of the scenery. This is a quick view right here of Vegas's colors. It's really hard to see really well, but he colored this page for us as a test, just to kind of show us what he could do. And we love the way he colored. This is at Vegas Day on Twitter, and he's just a really great colorist too. I think really fits my style of inking, because he's got kind of a small brushstroke painterly kind of way of doing things that I really like.
Yeah.
This is an early sketch I did right here. Here's another scene from the comic book. Here's another page. And I wanted to mention this because we always forget this, Macho.
Oh, hold on. Sorry. What is it?
It's that fact that people can get the first 16 pages of the story.
You're right. We do always forget that.
Yeah, we put together
for free.
Yeah, for
free.
We already got 16 pages of the story done, and you can download that by going to this link right here. You just click that and put your email in, and then you'll be able to get the first 16 pages. And then when our story kicks off on page 1, you'll know exactly what's up and what's going on.
That's right.
So you can see we're at 93%. We still got 36 days left. So people are digging it. We got a lot of backers. We got a lot of people who are into it, and we're going to make this comic.
Yep.
Awesome.
The first
7%, baby. That's all we need.
All we need.
Yeah.
Here's the cover. I don't know if you've seen that yet, Peter. Check that out.
Yeah, I saw that. That looks awesome. I like the design of the character too. It's simple but effective.
Right.
We were kind of going for sort of an iconic look, but what's funny is that people have been drawing it a lot. We actually have an art contest going on right now, and tons of people are turning in their version of HIRO, and we're getting all kinds of different versions. It's really cool.
We're on Drawn and Quartered Fan Edition, which is basically an art contest weekly. And last night, that was that stream we did really late. And we had some every single person that came on there did so incredibly well. Like Mutt wasn't on there to talk. I was the talking head last night, but I was so honored by all these people that put all this time into doing that art, and they've been tweeting it out, and it is absolutely beautiful work. And it's such a cool community to be a part of, because everybody, other creators, people that are also funding and stuff like that, are really rally behind each other. It's just really neat. And we're getting, we're making these indie comics because the creators are collaborating. It's it really is like a Renaissance period. So it was really fun.
Who was hosting that one?
It was Chester Busby. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was really cool. So they're planning on doing more of that. That was kind of their first try of doing a creator, an indie creator's character, and they said they really enjoyed doing it. So I think they're going to do more of that. But yeah, it was great. That's
excellent.
Yep.
Hey, we've got this official report on here. So this is kind of what it's almost like from a military perspective. So people were kind of yeah, I see it. It looks kind of cool, but what is it? And this is a way that we can kind of show you what HIRO is with some action. So we just put these 2 pages together with some lettering, so you can kind of catch, what the book's going to be like and what HIRO actually is. This shows the robot going up to the hero or to the fallen soldier, scanning him and finding that he is good to merge with. So he gets the neural bridge going. That's what we call this action right here that you see. It's neural bridge, and then that basically unites the robot and the corpse, and they form HIRO, who is a hulked out super soldier. And the AI inside that dome has all kinds of battle plans. So he's basically America's greatest warrior, and super strong and agile and all that kind of stuff. So then we see him in action right here, and it just kind of keeps talking about what he's capable of doing. So check those 2 pages out. You can see our stretch goals right here. We've got $3,800, and we're going, man. We're making a comic. At $5,500, I can actually afford to send this off to a great colorist. At $6,000, we're going to do an upgraded printing. We'll probably change the cover quality and probably add maybe some, extra cool printing stuff to the cover to make it look kind of snazzy. And then here's the good one right here. This is the one everybody wants to make note of. It's $6,500. Macho grows his dastardly Dan curl mustache
out again. That's right.
Let me tell you, that is a sight to behold.
Yeah. So, it's out there in the Twitterverse. If you really want to see it, you can see it.
Yeah, people are doing it.
You may not want to back it.
People are doing hashtag stash cash. because they wanted to grow his stash. So then at 7,000, I guess we'll think of some more content to put in. I mean, we can definitely add some more pages to our story because it's pretty condensed right now.
Yeah.
Right.
So there's some more artwork you can see. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Do you mind if I go through some of the perks?
Sure.
All right. So for $20, you get HIRO and swag. So this is all $20 plus shipping. You get the book, you get a signed poster, the book is signed, you get a patch, and you get a sticker. And then, so that's a pretty good deal, right, for $20. And then for $5, you can get your digital. For $15, you get your signed copy. 2 for $25. We got one for the troops, and we actually got a little special deal going right now. Anybody who, because we're feeling real patriotic, this weekend's Memorial Weekend, and we're feeling real patriotic, so we're actually going to give anybody who backs this particular perk, we're going to give them the opportunity to put a loved one whom they would like to honor into our book. And we're going to have a special section in the comic that shows the name of the person who got the perk, and also the name of the person that they want to honor. So that could be someone who is deceased who served, or it can be someone who is still living who served, but whoever they would like to honor, who has served our country, we're going to put their name in our comic book. And that's been popular so far. This one you might be interested in is get one of Volk's blades named after you. Macho, you tell them about this one. This was your idea.
Yeah, so I wanted a way for people, if they wanted to get their name in the book, like as an Easter egg kind of, and this is a great way to do that. And so Volk, our villain that you'll learn about if we kind of get into him, is he's crazy and he loves knives, and he loves to do his work up close, and when he's killing somebody, he likes to do it with a knife. So when he ends a life, he'll save that knife and he'll etch the name of the person he's killed into the blade, and he has this big wall he displays. It's like his trophy room. Instead of getting something taxidermied, he has his knife to remember. So there's going to be a killer splash page we're talking about, and it's going to have a bunch of names of people that have been murdered by Volk on the blade. So we're pretty excited about it. Oh, and we had some people claim it last time. Nobody's got it this time, but that's okay. We'll just put some of our friends in there.
I thought you were about to say, like, I named this knife Mary, and
yeah. So it's gonna be cool though. I think it was a cool way to get an Easter egg in the book, and people love seeing that stuff. So yeah,
definitely.
Go ahead and tell them about this one too, Macho.
Oh yeah, this is this is Macho's mystery bag, and in this one, two signed issues of HIRO, a swag pack, which is like sticker, patch, and poster, and then you get 3 mystery items curated by me, and those mystery items will be HIRO and or comic themed. They will be related in some way to the HIRO universe or the comic universe, and yeah, I'm kind of excited because I get to pick some really cool stuff. And the thing is, like, I'm gonna pick cool stuff because it's stuff that I would want myself. So I think it's gonna be exciting to do that. So I've had somebody claim that one. Whoever they are, I'm really excited. And if they're the only one, then I'm gonna go extra on them. So it's gonna be pretty cool.
Well, you say pick, like, what do you go to a grocery store and pick something related?
We have time. We built time into this campaign. Like, we're already working on the comic.
Right.
We're really trying to get it out there. So Mutt is laying down lines constantly. So we're ahead of schedule, but that gives me a lot of time to really do some online. So I'll probably be ordering some cool stuff. It could potentially be custom stuff as well. I'm spending time to make sure to read down to like the grocery store and send them a box of mini wheats or something like that. Like, it's gonna be good stuff.
Okay.
So Mutt just texted me. He said he's having internet issues, so I can keep going. Let me, if you want to, I will share my screen, and I'll
Okay.
with that. There we go. All right. You got me going?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So that was
Okay,
the
I see it.
Macho's mystery bag, yeah. And so this next one is Mutt's favorite. He even has it listed Mutt's favorite, and it's Get Knocked Out by HIRO. And this one's kind of exciting. We've had a couple people claim this one, and it's you get drawn into the comic book, getting absolutely decked and laid out by HIRO, which is kind of fun. Once again, it's a chance to be an Easter egg in the comic book, and yeah, a couple people grabbed this one. You do get original art from the campaign with this perk. And the next three you're going to see all have original art. The last one being the highest amount of original art. But we thought that was kind of cool. You get knocked out. You get 3 copies of the comic. You get a swag pack. So we thought $200 was a pretty good buy-in for something like that. And then the next one is a brutal death. We haven't had anybody claim a brutal death. It's a little bit more expensive, but it is because you get more pages, more original art in this one, which is kind of cool. But once again, three issues, original art and swag pack. And then our big one, our big daddy perk that has been purchased, and it's been purchased by somebody who's in the chat, Mr. Septinov 7 of 9, if you see him in the chat. He is our villain. And in this perk, you get a number of things. So you're going to get 5 whole pages of original art. So there's a character arc within these 5 pages that we're excited to put together. And the other thing is you're going to get he's going to get a bunch of stuff along with it. Like there's a bunch of issues of the comic and things like that. But the cool thing is he gets to be drawn in as this villain, and he does have some creative say with us. We're going to work with him to get this villain dialed in. So it's kind of exciting because we get to work with somebody and they get to have they get to be part of the creative process in the comic. We have a section written that we have to work with inside those bounds of that section of the book. But with that, there's plenty of ways to go. And so we're pumped. Sept has been a big supporter of us, and we're just excited to have him help us in this whole affair. So it's going to be really cool. He's a great bad guy. He's the most supportive bad guy I know. but yeah, so
hey guys,
so
can you hear me?
Oh, he's back. Boomer in Chief. There he is.
Yeah.
Sorry. Bad internet connection.
Yeah. So I'll turn it back over. But yeah, we went through all your stuff. We went through all the rest of the perks there. That's all you missed.
All right. Cool.
Yeah.
No,
it's that's great, and it looks like not only like you're kind of thinking out the box, and it's presented really well. I mean, I know because I just put together a Kickstarter page, and the amount of work that went into what is mine's like a simple page compared to your guys. How long did that take you just to like think up everything and okay, we want to do this, we want to do that, and put it all together?
I had started the page probably a month or so before we launched, maybe even more than a month. We did I saved a lot of the stuff from our previous page because I wanted to look through it and see where parts were not clean, or we could cut down on just like excess word. It's just like when you're editing a comic, right? Like you put all this stuff in there, and you got to cut down all the fluff and get to the meat that matters. And that's what we did. Our first campaign, like our page was all right. But we did get some criticism, and we took every single bit of criticism that was given to us, and we really put a lot of thought into it. So we worked for a little over a month, a little bit each day. Mutt really put the bulk of the work into all the art for like the little perk tiers, getting those because we didn't have to do that, but making that little image, it just like makes the campaign that much better. And like, you know, he put a lot of work into that cover, and having that big cover on there makes it that much better. And so we spent some time to make sure that that was dialed in. And we're proud. We had like Chester Busby. He's notoriously hard on people for their campaign pages and videos specifically. And he looked at it. That whole group, yeah, you're right. The whole Fanspeed crew is hard on people, real hard. And they gave us a pass, like pretty like flying colors pass. So we were thrilled with.
They were really searching. They were thinking, what can I say? What can I criticize? Because there's definitely some things you can criticize on here, but they really couldn't find too much, and we were kind of amazed at how well we did. We went through the gauntlet.
Yeah, we did. We got through unscathed, pretty much. But yeah, it's a big project for sure.
Do you see this going forward as just like a collection of stories, or do you think ongoing, or what do you have in mind to do?
Yeah, we have, Mutt and I have talked. We kind of have basically roughed out. We have this story dialed in, and we have roughed out like 2 more volumes about the same size. So this is 48 pages. So we think we have about 3 volumes, 48-page volumes, to tell this story that we want to tell. You could, if we stopped at the first one, you'd you'd be satisfied, but there's still going to be a hook at the end. So we have more to tell, but that's kind of our plan as of now. And then it could grow into much more. The cool thing about HIRO is it's a symbiotic relationship. So the PAC, the HIRO unit, stands for Hardware Integrated Reanimation Ordnance. It has a symbiotic relationship with the soldier that's passed. They're both in there. So the AI in the HIRO unit and the soldier who's deceased is kind of back. They work together. So even the movie Upgrade, if you've seen that recently, it's a little bit of that. It's not the same, not the same thing, but it's a little bit like that. And that's another good like way to a good like first hit to understand. And so, but the PAC HIRO is able to grow. It's able to evolve as a character, and with each successive host he has, he's able to grow. So the characters that HIRO's attached to are going to change. It could be a man or a woman, and the story's going to be able to move, and it's going to be able to go in some really cool directions, we think.
It's funny. When I was like, along with Retro, I had an idea to do a group of characters, and I was never sure, but like either one of my heroes or one of my villains had these creatures that would attach themselves to like the back of people's heads.
Yeah,
and kind of the same theory, like just take possession of the body. And
yeah, that's cool.
I just love that sick science stuff, you know.
Yeah, like, and we have like, so me as a writer, I spent a really abnormal amount of time on like learning about like brain, like the pieces of the brain, how the brain functions, and the chemistry that goes on to make things work, right? And if you have written anything, or anybody out there has written anything, that's something that you really like. Even though this is a made-up story, like this is a world that we're just creating, it's still nice to have like grounded science. And so I spent way too much time doing it. But it was really fun to learn that whole brain science. And it's really weird and kind of dark and creepy, but I think it's something that, because it's a little weird and dark and creepy, it gets people interested. And so that's why we put Black Science of Reanimation, because it's not a shiny something that you'd want to see all the time, right? It's something that's kind of dark and disturbing a little bit.
Yeah, but it's like I guess in the way of I used to read a lot of Arthur C. Clarke, and half of the stuff he wrote about, it's like I have no clue what he's talking about, but it all fits together in the end, and kind of like I feel like I learned something along the way. You know?
Yep.
So it's all useful to building the whole logic behind it and whatnot.
Yeah, but I don't want to, like, Macho wants to talk about all that nerdy stuff, and I want to skip on past that and get to the end. I want to draw fists to face and boots to backs and, you know, guns.
So what's your background, Mutt, as far as are you self-taught?
Well, I did go to
Artist?
mostly self-taught as far as artwork goes. I did go to art school, so like I did have some illustration classes, and you know those were very impactful and helpful. But I didn't take illustration as a main course. I just took a few classes. Mostly it was graphic design, so I went into graphic design as a career choice for a long time. But yeah, so I've just over the years just always tried to draw and try to keep it up, and you know, I'm basically an amateur, but I'm trying to get, you know, my skills way up so that I can produce really high impact stuff.
I like what I see. I mean, you know, it looks like a well thought out, entertaining, fun book. You know, that definitely takes me back to a lot of great stuff I read growing up, and you know, I mean, that's along the lines of why I want to do retro. It's like this. I feel there are a lot of great books out now, but I keep going back to the old stuff. It's like I keep being drawn back to the old stuff.
Yeah. What old stuff do you like?
Well, Deathlock I loved. You ever read Kill Raven?
I remember Kill Raven. I don't know too much of it, but I do remember some.
It's basically like Mars Attacks ish. With kind of like the characters are kind of like superheroes, but not, and then it's like a mini Avengers team against the evil. But yeah, I mean, you know, I've read so much stuff. I mean, I read ElfQuest. I don't know if either of you read. Read
I know. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I haven't read a whole lot of it, but yeah.
That stuff was unexpected. It's like, yeah, the art's pleasing. Let me pick up the first issue, see if I like it, and it really tugged at my heartstrings. So it's like, I'm in.
Yeah.
Nexus I loved.
Oh yeah,
Nexus,
so beautiful.
Yeah. You cannot beat a character's name being Horatio Hellpop. Something about his name is like, I'm sold. You know, it's like no other character.
Yeah, heroes with alliteration in their names seems to always be popular.
Yeah.
Peter Palmiotti. That's a perfect example.
Well, it's Palmiotti, but
I'm sorry.
But yeah, PP for short.
PP. Oh man.
But Nexus, I mean, the whole idea of what was he? He's the killer of assassins. It's been so long since I read it.
Yeah, Cosmic. Yeah.
I just thought it's like it's a romance too, and it's discovering new worlds and uncovering history, and it's like, wow, there's a lot to this madness.
Wasn't that
Steve Rude?
Steve Rude, but I didn't.
Mike Barron.
Mike Barron. Yeah, Mike Barron did that. Yep.
Yeah. It was an excellent team on just an independent book that. The very unfortunate thing was that they hopped around so much and they started and stopped, and you know, I wish that was an ongoing series. I hear it's coming back, but we'll see.
That'd be sweet. That'd be
cool.
The Steve Rude situation is a little bit complex. Like, have you ever seen that documentary on Steve Rude?
No.
I think it's on either Netflix or Amazon Prime. But if you get a chance, check it out. It's really kind of like it's really kind of heartbreaking, but at the same time, it's a little bit because he's bipolar. Steve Root is bipolar.
Okay.
And so there's a lot of like emotional ups and downs when it came to his artwork. And he's, I think, just maybe at this stage of his life, getting to the point where he's a little bit more balanced out.
Mm.
Yeah. So, but he was really fighting his own demons while he was doing some very high level artwork.
Yeah. I can understand it. I mean, it's like my mom, both my parents have passed away at this point, but my mom was bipolar, and I know like about living with that. But it's like I know a lot of artists, and I could pretty much, label 90% of them to some degree bipolar.
Right.
Yeah.
I think we're all a little bit nuts, even the writers. Well, especially the writers.
I'll agree with that.
Yeah. But Steve Root, I met him at a convention, and I went up to him and said hello, shook his hand,
Yeah,
and said the goofy fan thing. It's like, I really like your work, and he almost had no reaction to it. It's like,
yeah,
okay, I'll move along then. Thank you. But
very possible he could have been medicated.
Yeah, he could have been. But I did work at Valiant back in the day, and I believe he was doing some work for them at the time.
Yeah.
And they were like floating on air up there. It's like Steve Root's doing some stuff for us, and this is like phenomenal. And he's such a talented guy.
Amazing. Yeah, you've kind of been a journeyman, haven't you? You've worked for a lot of different groups, right?
I have worked for Valiant was like the first real gig, and that was like a 9-to-5 job where I worked in the office.
Yeah,
because
cool,
everybody worked in the office. The writers, the editors, the pencilers, inkers, colorists, production, anything you needed was there. And that was a great experience. Although I never achieved what I wanted to achieve, was I was inking backgrounds for them, and I just wanted to ink a book.
Yeah.
And Bob Layton, whose work I followed for years and loved his work, and thought he was a great guy too. But as far as me getting inking work there, like, we were always just butting heads. So I did steal a page of inks. Like I did like ink a page. One of the inkers I was working for said, I need all the backgrounds inked on these 2 pages. And I went home, and I don't know what was on my brain, but I just inked 1 page totally, and went in the next day and said, sorry. And I watched him. He walked up to Bob Layton, and Bob Layton's face turned red. I never get any flack from it, but I left shortly thereafter. I mean, at the same time I was working there, I was working at Defiant, which was Jim Shooter's new company. Jim Shooter started Valiant. And I was doing inking backgrounds there too. It's like, I can't win. I'm working for both of the companies.
Yeah.
But after that, I did, and because of it, I met Jim Calfuri when I was working there. I went on to work at DC because of him. I got the job on Aquaman, which lasted a long time, and then I went over to Marvel, and I was at Marvel for a little bit longer. All in all, probably 7 years with Marvel and DC work. And I did a couple things that got published by Image. Never got anything from Dark Horse, but I worked on a slew of independent publishers' works. All in all, it's like, I'm happy with my career, but this is where I'm heading, where I am now. It's like, I'm going to make my own crap. I'm going to make it the way I want to make it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
even if it comes out of my own pocket, whatever. It's like I want to create my own legacy because nobody else is doing it for me.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know, people are they're calling this the indie revolution.
It is.
Yeah, and I really believe that too. And when I look around and see some of the talent that's coming up, we've got talent coming both ways. We got talent coming up from nowhere, and then we've got talent coming down from the big publishers.
Yeah.
Looking to do their own thing. So pretty soon, my feeling is that pretty soon the publishers won't be able to pay what people can make for their own stuff, and people are going to realize how much more lucrative their own IPs are anyway.
Yeah, I will say this. I don't know if you guys know, I have a Facebook group called Creator Owned Comics Group.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
And it's basically, I don't know, facebook.com/groups/creator owned, something like that.
Okay.
And both of you join that, and I'll approve you and get in and just post your work.
You hear that, Macho? We're in.
I'm in. I'm looking at it right now, I
think. There are rules, but you know, most people abide by them. But I delete every once in a while.
You'll be deleting a lot of Macho's comments.
Yeah. Oh man, I have to answer questions to get into here. Oh, it's all right. I'll do this later.
I can't spell. I'm a writer.
Yeah, I don't know how to
spell. I understand. But I also have, I started another YouTube channel, which is basically Creator Owned Comics YouTube channel. I don't plan to do a lot of content there, but kind of different things. One of which will be like sort of what this Studio Synergy normally is, where I just have a whole collection of people. And we work on art and talk about art and comics and the business of it all and all that. So I want to do that on that channel, but specifically to the people within the group.
Okay. Yeah.
So that will be interesting.
Cool.
And other things and whatnot. And
that's great, man. I'm glad that you're doing that and you're seeing like the value in it, not only just kind of doing your own thing, but also helping people like us, right. When we get questions and stuff like that.
Even before, when I was a nobody, I was helping other people. It's just, I love art. I love comics. Yeah. I was helping people when I was in high school. It's like, I consider myself, self-taught as well, even though I went to Art and Design Manhattan.
Yeah.
And I went to college for a couple of years. Yeah. What did I take? I took cartooning, animation, advertising art, and I don't know, something else. But anyway, they just cram stuff for you, projects for you to do.
Yeah.
At these art schools. I had 2 or 3 great teachers. The rest were like, here's a project.
Yeah. The real lessons are learned when you're doing something. When you're creating something that you care about and that you're trying to make money on.
Yeah.
That's when you really learn all those real life lessons, whether it's design or whether it's illustration or whatever you're doing. It's when you put your effort into something where somebody's going to approve or disapprove and give you reasons for it and money if you do it right.
Yeah.
That's where the lessons are learned. So like when I'm talking to young people who are trying to get in to like any kind of art form, my first thing is don't give so much away, look for good opportunities, but try to do something that you get some money for. And that's the experience that's really going to teach you,
Yeah. It's like, the time period from where I came from, everything had a specific category. You were a writer, you were a penciler, you were an inker, you were a colorist, you were the publisher. It's like now it's wide open. It's the Wild West for indie creators to do everything or anything they want and to put it out there and to get it seen and to make money off of it. Lots of people, I still see people commenting on Facebook and Twitter and whatnot. Oh, I can't make a dime off my comic. I don't know. It's like I tried submitting it to publishers, nobody wants it. You know, it's like you're doing it wrong.
Yeah, I mean, look, we did a campaign, and our first campaign was not successful, and that's probably something that was very positive for us in the long run. You know, like for us to jump in with both feet and just kind of like really experience what it's like to try to get people to buy into an idea. That's really difficult. And so we learned sort of like some of the ups and downs, ins and outs. And then we, like Macho was saying earlier, when we really listened to people afterward about what we should be doing, and we tried to look at the people who are doing it well and making some money off of it. And I think, this one's going to definitely do much better.
Yeah.
It already has.
Yeah. I would definitely say it's you learn a lot more from failure.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And I've definitely failed most of my career, but it's like I'm happy to be doing what makes me happy,
right?
And whatever 2 cents I could add to somebody else's project, or it's like I personally always want to work with friends. Things don't always click, things don't always work out, things go south, whatever. But at least that it's like I worked in Marvel in DC, made a really good page rate, and I wasn't really 100% satisfied. I wasn't even kind of close to that. It's like I'm glad I achieved my dream, because it was essentially a short period of time. Like I went one night up to the Marvel bullpen to assist my brother in helping his friend, who is Mark Texiera, on an issue of Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
And sitting in the bullpen, this is after hours, after 5 o'clock. This is before, like, you have to pass security and check for guns and whatnot. This is like the wide open Marvel of yesteryear. And we just walked up there and sat down at drawing boards and threw pages around. It's like, here, I need some ink, blacks filled on this page, and I filled in blacks, and then threw it to my brother. He inked some figures or something, threw it to another friend who inked some backgrounds. And, we were just throwing pages around for a couple of hours. But it was 10 minutes in of me sitting there working on a page, looking up and around, seeing all the editor offices, seeing all the character posters around, and saying, yeah, I'd rather be doing this for a living than what I'm doing.
I've as I've been working on this, I've pretty clearly become obsessed with it. And it's pretty much what I think about all the time. And I've been wondering if it's kind of a thing that other people experience, where when you've got a comic to produce, like, do you obsess over it? Like when you were creating Retro, is it something that you just think about constantly? Does it fill a lot of your brain?
Yeah. Yeah. I created the character, and loosely. I created a visual and a name back when I was a teenager.
Okay.
Cool.
I'm 56 now.
Wow.
And I'm just getting them out.
Wow.
I developed the character, developed his story, and how I do things. Everything is mostly in my head. But I created his world and who he is and what he does and future plot lines and stories and and only now it's like the beginning of my career, and I mean most of my early life. It's like I had 3 older brothers. I'm the youngest, so I was super shy when I was young. I almost never said much. All I did was stand around and smile, and everybody loved me for that. But but really, it took being passionate about something to fucking speak up.
Right.
And be brave on what I want to do. And it's only, in the last 5-10 years that I'm like, no, this is more what I want to do. No, I don't want to, it's like, I love working on other projects. I love still inking. That will never diminish or fade away. But it's like, I want to create my own story because I want to create sort of the whole package.
Yeah.
It's a very specific thing. Every detail matters, So yeah, it's like an old clockmaker working on his little clock watches, and it's like it may take a long time.
Yeah.
But I'll get everything just right. So when I wind it up, it will just rock.
That's awesome.
Right on, man. Yeah, it's. I think I'm becoming pretty compulsive about it. Like, especially when you're running a campaign, it's like you're just checking it every few minutes. You're thinking about it all day long. You're.
Oh, my wife is so sick of it. She's like, are you on there again? You'll get an email, and I'm like, I know, but I just thought I'd just refresh it.
Yeah.
I was talking to Nasser the other night. We're on with Nasser, and I was like, there's nothing like refreshing your email and seeing that little Indiegogo email come in that says you have a new contributor. And it's just like somebody cared enough to put money down on that. That is the coolest thing ever. Like we've worked on this character for literally years, and somebody cares enough to put money on it. It means so much. And that's something that Mutt and I constantly talk about, is how much it means to us that people and our backers do that. And it does become a compulsion. It just does.
It's funny, before I started working in the comic industry, I had a 9-to-5 job. Essentially, I went from being a messenger in Manhattan to working in the mailroom to running a mailroom. And one of the guys, I guess it was like one of my first decent gigs. I met this guy, Dennis. And we were literally sitting, facing each other, but on different sides of the room. I mean, it wasn't a huge room, but where we were sitting. And I looked up and said, "That guy's an asshole." It's like, I don't know. I just formed an opinion in a second. And we eventually talked, and we became best friends, and I still talk to him to this day, and we're still best friends. And I'll probably visit him later this year or something. But it's like, he's been my biggest supporter. He saw Retro when I first drew him and laughed his ass off. And my revenge is, I put at the very bottom of my page, I have like Team Retro, which is everybody that worked on it, and some fellow comrades in arms and different things. But at the very bottom, it said, I forget how I worded it, but it says, somebody only known as Dennis, and and his friend Earl. And Earl was like a stuffed doll he bought years ago. That's essentially a dead cat. So I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. It's hilarious.
So he got a huge kick out of it. That was just a quick sketch. I'll do a better piece, but he's like, yeah, I'm just happy to be on the Kickstarter page.
That's right.
I was
That's
like,
good.
well, man, you supported me all these years, so you deserve at least that.
Well, one thing that we found is that a lot of the people that you meet as you're working on these things and creating these things, and is other people who are doing the same thing.
Yeah,
and we've gotten so much help and support and respect, and I mean, there's just been so many people that have just come out of the woodwork, and it's like, I don't know, there's just something about comics that just really brings people together in a major way. You know, like some of your best friendships are based around conversations about Galactus and the Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
And people, that's early in life, but like now people that we're meeting are like, hey, you're making a comic? Oh, that's cool. And then before you know it, they're like, what's going to happen next? And what are you going to do next? And when are we going to see it? And, you know, they just get super excited about it. And it's really amazing, like how many cool people there are out there.
Yeah. You know, people talk gloom and doom about the industry and all that. And, you know, it's like any industry goes up and there's ups and downs. And, but definitely what you're saying is like, you know, the community is excellent. And there's so many people that are willing to reach out to you and help you in any way possible if you need it. And, you know, I know myself, like I got a Facebook Messenger group, which, you know, I just every once in a while type something in there, throw a link in there, talk to people in there, and they do the same and they throw links and whatnot. It's good to keep in touch on a regular basis, even if it's like not full conversations or whatever. And plus, you know, it's like I'm on phone a lot talking with other creators, and it's like, well, how'd you do this and how'd you do that? How'd you get that done? And you know, yeah, it's totally an open conversation, ongoing thrill ride, you know.
Yeah, this one of these guys we know, he coined the phrase co-petition, because like, you know, like we're selling stuff at the same time that other people are selling stuff, but we don't look at it as competition. We don't look at it as we're competing with them, because when it comes to comics, there's something for everybody. If somebody likes undead super soldiers, you know, that are patriotic, then that's our book.
Right.
You know?
Right.
If they like you know, old Cherokee Indians, and that's our buddy Doug Garrett's book. You know, and if they like corn cobs and skateboards, that's our friend Marshall Lee. You know what I mean?
That's
so
right.
Like there's something for everybody. So like it's real easy to kind of like reach your hand across the aisle, even though you're campaigning furiously trying to raise, you know, trying to sell a digital issue for $5. Just come on, somebody buy something. You know, we're trying to make this go. Yeah. So like even if you're furious about it, you can still like take a second and be like, oh snap, check out this new artwork of Corncob Rob and Lone Wolf. Isn't that awesome? You know, and then you can kind of share it out and talk about it with that same group. So I like that term co-petition, because I really feel like that really is it really resonated with me about what the what it's like.
Yeah, you know, that's absolutely true, because like on our campaign, our video, Mutt put the video together, but the music on the video was done by our buddy Doug Garrett, who's running a campaign called Lone Wolf Anthologies currently. Yeah. And you know, we're both competing for dollars for our campaigns to succeed, but there's nothing more that I want to see other than HIRO being funded than like Lone Wolf being successful. And it's one of those corny phrases, but like a rising tide brings up all ships. And that's exactly what's happening for the indie revolution, or the indie renaissance, or whatever you want to call it. I really believe that, like, even though we're all competing for dollars at the same time, like Shinobi Sasquatch, they're at like $19,000 right now. And there, you know, there's money that is on the table there that, you know, we potentially could have gotten, but it doesn't matter, because Cal and Rob that are running that campaign are guys that are fans of us, and like we figured out this platform to work together to just bring all these comics into the light, get them in front of people, and it really is going to change. This is going to be a point in history, in comics history, that will be remembered for the good stuff that came out of it, and how consumers drove the movement to change. And it's just exciting to see.
Definitely. And since you guys know Marshall, you know about the D100s and the anthology book coming up.
Unicorns and
werewolves.
That's awesome.
Werewolves and unicorns and other mythical creatures.
Yeah.
That's kickstarting June 1st. Marshall did a story in there. I did a story in there. There's
Cool.
28 creators in all, and yeah, I mean it's definitely with the D100s, and there's another group, the Artcasters, and my group, Create Our Own. It's like a lot of similar circles of people,
Yeah.
and I'm just like pushing every extra hour I have, just pushing to make it grow bigger and bigger, and it's true. It's like, you know, it's like Marvel and DC. They have excellent characters. There's no denying. There's a lot of great characters in both camps. But a lot of what they do is like they lost their heart, they lost their soul to a degree. Not that there aren't great people working there, but I definitely am a lot more focused on the independent creative end of the spectrum, and there's a lot more energy and like, yeah, a lot more heart going on here. And I do want to see it grow, and I do want to see it expand, and that's why, you know, it's like I want to get guys like you on who know what they're talking about, and are putting together really great looking books, and just you know, if two more people see it because of this episode, then that's excellent. You know, it's like, and if it just expands outward, then all the better.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. And yeah, we're going to definitely talk about, we want to talk about werewolves and unicorns and mythical creatures in that anthology, because that's really super cool, you know. And like, you know, you're constantly after it, but then like that ends, right? And then you're just, you know, promoting other people.
Yeah.
So like one thing that we think is really fun is having people on our channel and talking to them when we can. And we've done that with several people, but that's something we definitely want to do a lot more of. Cool. So there's going to be lots of opportunities for us to kind of, you know, do the same thing. To, you know, we're gonna hopefully be in a position to where we'll have a successful campaign, we'll have a successful book that goes out on time, and everybody will be really super happy with that. And then from that platform that we've created, we'll start to pull some smaller guys from us up. You know?
Yeah. That's the plan, and that's the goal for us, I think. Is to just like, we've had help to grow to the point where we're at. We hope that we can continue to grow, and if we're able to help somebody else, then that's even better. And there's people, we're going to have a guy on in the future that he's putting a book together. I started with like 90 followers on Twitter when I really started marketing HIRO, which is crazy. And I have like over like almost 1,000 now, which is insane to me that many people have chosen to follow me on Twitter. But yeah, like that's where he's at right now. He has like maybe a couple hundred, but he has a great product, and we need to see people like him grow, to see this community grow. And I hope that we can get people following him, because he's going to have a really cool product that's going to come out. And same thing, like, you know, if you and Marsh are going to be working on that I can't remember, I'm like blanking on the name right at the moment, the unicorns and werewolves. Like, I want to see that thing. I want to see the stuff that you guys are putting down, and I hope we can get somebody turned on to that, because we have, you know, we have in the same circles but slightly different. And it's all about, you know, casting a wide net and getting that exposure. And I think it's so great. And that's what's so cool, is all these creators are helping each other to get into those different circles, and it's working.
Yeah. I will say, Out and Out, Werewolves and Unicorns has the best promotional video I have ever seen.
Oh man, I want to see it. Really? I'm so excited.
And I'm not sure if we're releasing it before the day or on the day or whatever, but soon enough, in a soon enough time, people will be seeing that.
That's awesome.
The book itself has an awesome cover. Scott Serquin did the front and back cover.
Cool.
And like I said, yeah, it's 28 creators, 28 different styles. And
that's awesome.
And frankly, you know, I've been drawing all my life, and I was an inker most of my career. You know, I'm still inking. But that for that anthology was the first story I wrote, penciled, and inked. It's only 4 pages, but in my whole life, that's the first story I've completed.
Oh, man. That's cool,
So,
man.
Yeah,
That's cool. That's interesting
That's
too.
awesome.
That you've gone this far and you've been helping other people, but you've never done your own thing except until now.
Yeah, so I finally took that leap, and it's like, oh, I already want to jump on the next one, you know.
Yeah.
So that's how, you know, that's how the heroin gets you.
It's like a slow drip, man. It really is. Like it totally has caught me bad. So I'm trying to, like, you know, keep everything else, you know, trying to batten down all the hatches so that when I get to this time of the night, which is my time, like 9:30 and beyond, the kids are in bed, you know, all the stuff taken care of. Now I can get on here and talk comics and make comics and work. You know.
Yep.
I look forward to it.
Is he roboting on you too?
Yeah, he dropped out a little bit at the end.
Yeah. Oh, sorry guys. Can you hear me?
It probably wasn't important anyway. But no, I mean, he's right. Like, this is Mutt and I are both dads. We're straight up dads, and dad jokes and all. And 9:30 is like, seems to be the magic time. You can get work done for us. And I don't know where you are on the in the States, but for us on the East Coast, it's 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. You can start getting work done. So
yeah.
Well, I'm in Kentucky, and it's just about 11.
Okay.
So
yep, you're East Coast time.
And I'm not a family man, but I'm a cat daddy. I got like 5 cats.
Oh man.
And they keep me busy, but they don't help me with my comic work at all.
Yeah, right.
But this has been great. This has been a great episode. Great having you on. You're always welcome back. And please, go to Creator Own on Facebook group and sign up for that.
We'll do. I'll give Phil out your questions you need, just so I can get in there.
Not everybody fills out the question, but don't tell them that.
No.
I just want to know people who are like passionate at some level.
Yeah, no,
you know?
That's a smart thing to do. That's definitely a smart thing to do.
Yeah. But yeah, this has been great, and like I said, I'll throw in links. I ask for at least 3 links each guest. So if you want to give me a bunch of links, I'll throw them in tomorrow. Cool. And if you wanna do the cover itself, by all means. Like, if you wanna put together some artwork from your comic into a Facebook thumbnail, then you can do that, or I can just do it myself or whatever.
Oh well, I'll throw one together for you, man. That's cool. Thank you.
Yeah. No, by all means. And I'll also share it out tomorrow. I'll be eating ice cream and watching some show, and then falling asleep soon.
Yeah, good for you, man. Good for you. Yeah, you put in some work today. You deserve a little bit of a rest.
Yeah, I put in a full day. I'm very happy with the results, and
hey, I got one question for you before we get out of here. Can I ask you one question? All right. Sure. So I was looking on your Kickstarter, and I am an unapologetic fan of Mr. Rob Liefeld, and I noticed that your character Retro seems to also share something that Liefeld likes to do, and that is a lot of pouches. And I'm a fan of pouches. So my question is, do you or do you not? Are you or are you not a fan of Mr. Liefeld?
I am.
Okay.
It's
That's all I need to hear.
Not at the level of like Marshall Lee, but
Yes. Well, Marshall's right. I mean, let's just say that right out. Marshall's right.
This is hard.
No, no.
This is
I,
really
I,
hard.
I definitely appreciate everything he's done for, comics and whatnot. I mean, he has made an impact. He has made a career for himself. I'm not saying he's perfect. I'm not saying his art is gorgeous.
Good.
But I mean, we could talk serious artists some other time.
Yeah, no. I just noticed that.
Real artists at a different time.
Look, I just noticed that, and I appreciated that about your character, and I just wanted to ask you. I just wanted to ask the man behind it, because I'm a fan. But anyway, I just was looking through the page, and seriously, in all seriousness, I thought it was cool. I think the character's cool, man. And it's really neat to check this out. And I was cracking up with the pictures of him retro sitting on the sofa, like in the penthouse, smoking a cigar and like having a glass of whiskey. It's so good.
And if you have to read the word balloons on that one.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah. It was cool. I like how he's like, welcome to retro, baby.
Because I mean, I grew up in the era when there were 5,000 magazines on the newsstand. And I always loved like GQ, fancy ads and whatnot. And it's like, I want to do one with my character, because realistically, he's never going to wear a suit over his superhero suit. But it's like, I just thought of that and started laughing. It's like, okay, we gotta do this.
It's so good. I saw it and I love that right away. Retro has a hard edge, but goes down smooth, baby. I love it, dude. I love it. It's so good.
Awesome. All right, guys. I guess we'll wrap this up.
Let's do it.
Where can people find you?
People can find me on Twitter at Macho Dano, or Macho Dan, and you can drop some links in the chat. Hopefully they are clickable links, but
I'll make sure they are.
Yeah, our campaign is HIRO Blood of Patriots, and it's live on Indiegogo currently. So yeah, there's the places you can find me.
You can find me at Muttman75 on Twitter. On Instagram and Facebook, it's Mutt Man Comics. And let's see, and definitely go and check out our first 16 pages of the story. Download that and read that, and go back HIRO, Blood of Patriots.
I just noticed we had so many people. I don't know if you guys ever heard of Introducing Emmy. She's a sweetheart. She does a comic called Trying Human. It's a web comic. I would look that up. It's gorgeous. It's very Disney looking. And she's in the chat, and so is Marshall. And
man, we met. Absolutely beautiful.
You're looking at it? Yeah,
I'm looking at it right now. I'm gonna go back and read it. This is awesome.
Yeah, it's a great read. There's like flashback scenes in black and white and all sorts of stuff. And thank you for everybody who showed up in the chat. Totally appreciate it. Anybody watching this later, give the video a like. Leave a comment below the video. Subscribe if you haven't. I do these when I can. There's no set schedule. But I'll see you again soon, everybody. And thanks for watching.
Thanks, guys. Peace.